right, folks. We're gonna do a few problems for math to get you ready for it. Get some books. Get you ready for your quiz tomorrow. I'm gonna do an example, one example of each of the type of problems you're gonna see, and then I'm gonna leave some questions here for you to do. Your job is to try them on your own. Check the answer after you try them on the attached document to this assignment or material. Remember, this isn't mandatory, it's just for extra help. And then if you miss one of the problems, mark what you missed and then come in and meet me during open Zoom time, and I can help you out. So our first thing that we're working on is place value. Wait, no. Writing numbers in standard form, etc. So if I give you the number 80,000 plus 700 plus 9, writing something in standard form is simple. All you have to do is add up the numbers that you see, and voila, standard form is achieved. So 80, you want to try this? Pause it, give it a shot. Okay? And we're just going to add these up. 80,709. Okay, so I'm not going to go spend too much time here. Again, if you need that extra help, open Zoom. The next is, how do we go from standard form? So if I have 6,350, if I need to expand that out, this 6 is in the thousands place. Well, actually, go ahead and try it first. Then I'll go over it. So pause it. Try it. All right, now we're back. So this 6 is in the thousands place. Then we're going to add this 3 is in the hundreds place. So it's going to be 3 times 100. Plus this 5 is in the tens place. So we're going to do that. And the 0 doesn't add any value to our numbers, so we don't even have to worry if we see a 0. No matter where the 0 is at, you don't have to put 0 times 1 or 0 times 1,000 or something. You can just ignore it. Another thing is, if you, let's see, we have, let's change this number slightly. So let's say we have 6,550, and I say, what is the value of the digits, of the 5 digits? So you have to tell me the value in that place value. So for example, here, right, we have this 5, but it's not actually 5. It's in the tens place. So the value it represents is 50. And here, the value that is represented is 500. So make sure that, that you put both options if there is more than one option available. Okay, the next thing that you're going to be encountering, let me get my chart back from earlier in the week. This is a 100 chart. If you don't have one, make one. Get a paper, draw 10 lines on both ways. And that's how you're going to get your chart. And that's going to be useful because when you do problems for your next section, which is like 0.12 plus, for these problems, I would use 2 separate colors. Color in 12 squares black, color in 13 squares red, count all the squares. Now I know I'm going a little bit fast because this is just supposed to be a slight preview. The real help is going to come during the open Zoom. So come to the open Zoom if what I'm saying is not making sense. If it is making sense, just keep on scrolling. If you're subtracting, let's say you have 0.75 minus 0 and 1200ths. You're going to color in 75 squares red, cross out 12 in black, count what's remaining that's not crossed out. Super easy. The only little wrinkle you have to worry about is if you are dealing with a number that is larger than 1. Once you add this up, you start adding, you run out of space in your hundreds chart, get another chart. That completed chart is one whole. And then you roll everything else over after the decimal place. Okay. The part three is estimating and rounding. So, for example, if I have 17 are products, estimating products times 320, I need to round both of these and multiply. So I'm going to underline here. I'm going to round up because this is 5 or more. So I hope you paused it and gave this a shot. Here, so when I just say round, you want to round to the highest place value. If I don't say round to the nearest tens place, round to the nearest blank place, you are going to find the largest place value and you're going to round there. What is it? 3 or 2 is 4 or less, so we're going to let the 3 rest and put zeros after. Now we multiply these. All we really have to multiply is this 2 and this 3 because all the other numbers are zeros. So we don't really have to worry about them. So we multiply 2 times 3, we get 6. And then we add our zeros back in. Our answer is 6,000. Please be careful when you're writing your answer on the quiz. For some reason on Google Forms, if it's a short answer and you try to put commas, it won't let you. So I put it in both ways just in case. So please, and also put a reminder to not to use commas. Just write it out. If you want to start with the commas in the number and then delete them later to make sure that your spacing is correct and you have the right breakdown for your digits, totally fine. And the last type of problem you're going to see with decimals and rounding and finding and estimating our product. So if I have 13 or 15.235, and I want to multiply that by 20, right? If I have a decimal and I'm rounding, my job, if possible, is to round to the nearest whole number. All of my rounding rules stay the same, but since I'm rounding to the nearest whole number, I'm going to be rounding here at the ones place. It's not going to tell you that, it's not going to say round to the nearest whole number. You're going to have to know that by saying the decimal. I repeat, it will not say round to the nearest whole number. You need to know that by looking at the decimal. So if you look here and go, oh, this is a 5, I'm going to round up to 20, you're going to be incorrect because there's a decimal here. And our main goal is to remove the decimal. So we're going to have 15 times 20. 15 times 2 is 30. Add our 0, 300. Okay, so what is it? For you, when you get here, I'd recommend writing out your math. I was able to do that in my head, but I've been doing math for just a little bit longer than you guys have. I'm an old man, so make sure you write everything out. One small thing that you need to be aware of, if you see a number like this, and I want you to round this number, make sure that you are rounding at the highest place value where there's a digit besides 0. So here, the tenths place, or 1/10, or hundredths, the hundredths place is the first or the largest place value that has a value greater than 0 in it. So we want to check here and go through our rounding steps. So everything to the left, we're just going to rewrite. And then we're going to look here. So we have 1, and then we get the 8 is going to decide if it goes up or goes down. 8 is 5 or greater, so the 2 is going to go up. We're not going to let it rest. And everything behind it, because it's a decimal, we just get rid of it. You don't even have to put the zeros, anything. I recommend you don't. Just get rid of it, let them float away. So that's the quick explanation, and this should be a refresh. So it wasn't a reteach. If there's anything here you don't understand, here are your options. Go back and watch the videos. They're still on YouTube. They're still listed for this week. Just go to Monday and Tuesday, September 16th, September 14th and 15th, and look at those days and look at the math videos there as a refresher if there's something you don't understand here. Another option, come into this open Zoom at the end of the day to get some support directly from me. I'm going to put some problems on the board. Your job is going to be to work on those problems, and then whichever ones you miss, if you want to come and get some help, please come get some help during open Zoom time. If you get them all right, great. If you miss them and don't want to get help, well, that's probably not going to be a recipe for success. So I would advise against that. So I hope to see a lot of your faces later on today. I'm going to go ahead and put some problems up here. You will find the answers attached close by. So your first problem is going to be our first topic again. Oh, here. Oh yeah, standard form. Okay, so that's 70,000 plus 60 plus 3. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just attach the problems on the worksheet next to it, and then I'll put the answers there too, because I realize that's a little small. But I don't want to, what is it, edit this in a way where it's hard to follow. So thank you for your time. Look for the problems, they're going to be there. Good luck.